What's going on, everybody? I'm your host, the Carolina Collector. Before I begin, I want to say thank you so much to each and every single one of you for continuing to support this channel. If you are new to this channel, do me a huge favor. If you like what you see and you enjoy the content, I'd appreciate it if you would subscribe. Smash that like button, comment in the comment section below. Hit the bell to receive notifications if you want to help to support the channel financially. Check out my eBay store, the Carolina Collector 001. The link is in the description box below. And I do have a coffee link if you want to make a donation to the channel. That link is also in the description box below. Thank you so much, everybody. As you can tell, I'm eager to get into this subject. And I called this recently when I made a video about More Than Meets the Eye Hot Rod and Studio Series 86 Starscream being scalped and being resold on eBay and other places like that for these draconian prices. And I literally came out and said there's going to be a revolution. I was right. Content creators such as myself and other Transformers collectors, Super Robot Ed, Chris Jam, and a lot of others are now coming out with this. I believe 14th Prime also made a video about this, if I'm not mistaken. A lot of content creators are now coming out and voicing their concern for what happened recently with Hasbro through Target canceling people's orders. I want you to see how ridiculous things have become. I literally took the time to print out, and of course I bring the receipts because I'm always right. But, you know, this fat asshole that keeps attacking me here on YouTube doesn't understand what facts, numbers, and details are. And accuses me of being a scalper. This is scalping right here. So I printed out all these different examples of the current prices for what a sealed... Copyright Pat the NES Punk, because he coined that. Sealed! Because he calls out bullshit like this too. Hasbro Studio Series 86 Voyager Class Starscream, $67.88 plus $20 shipping. $67.88. $65. This one's up for auction. $67.88. Wait until you start seeing some of the prices of these. You're going to get pissed. $77.99 or best offer with $33 delivery. Okay. $122.50 with 11 bids with a $10.80 delivery charge right here in the United States. There it is in black and white. $67.88 from China. $67.88 from China. $88.04 best offer with $20 delivery charge from China. $77.99 with $33 delivery charge, or $33.99. $33.99. Forgive me if I'm rushing through this. It's because I got to get as much of this in this video as possible. $122.50, $67.88, $67.88, $149.99. $79.36. $150 with 26 bids. $149, $122.50. I think you get the point. These things are being sold at draconian rates that I can't believe that toys are going for this price. Because Transformers fans, and I'm not picking on my fellow Transformers fans, they want this fucking figure. Because he is one of the key figures. If you're a Transformers collector, you have to get the trifecta. Megatron, Starscream, Soundwave, and or Shockwave. With the Autobots, you can pick any three you want. Typically, I would go with Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, and Ironhide. I think that's the original trifecta, if you want to look at it in threes. But there are key figures in G1 Transformers lore that fans will always clamor for. Starscream happens to be one of them. I'm lucky I got my copy. I got mine through Hasbro Pulse with no issues at retail for no extra duties or taxes or tariffs or any of that. I consider myself lucky that I actually got one of these. And this is not a flex. The reason I'm making this video is because, like my other fellow collectors out there, it's an unfortunate situation where you are not able to get these because people who do not collect these, who are only out there to flip these for profit, in sealed boxes, by the way, are the ones that are ruining it for the Transformers hobby. I've seen this in the sports card hobby. As you know, I've opened up many packs of sports cards and hobby boxes and jumbo boxes here on the channel. And they're almost impossible to get because of the bots and the AI situation that goes on, where these things are scooped up by people who don't even collect these. And true collectors cannot get their hands on these. And it's not right and it's not fair. Now, if a better Starscream came out better than this one, or, obviously right now at this point versus the War for Cybertron, whatever part of the fan base you're in, he's vastly superior than the War for Cybertron editions that came out. This is one of the best Starscreams I've ever seen, ever since G1 was even a thing back in the days, when he was just a brick that stood there with arms that move like this. This is an amazing action figure. No wonder people are clamoring for this, why fans are clamoring for this. This is one awesome upgrade. I mean, the back, is a little questionable, but look at how clean this is. And you have the option to actually attach the stabilizers to his ankles, which would clean up the back. You've got options with this guy. But real collectors can't get them. I can't explain what happened. I don't have the answers, to be honest with you. This is just my observation. Everybody's orders, whoever ordered from Target, their orders are getting canceled. People are fucking losing their shit here on the internet, and rightfully so. I'm on your side, my friend. Super Robot Ed talked about it. A whole bunch of other content creators talked about it, and they are right with their assessment. This is bullshit. Whatever went on between Hasbro and Target is completely fucked up. And you, the collector, cannot get your hands on one of these. Now, if I were to look at it from an absolute grown-up perspective, it's just a toy, it's not a necessity. There are plenty of other Starscreams out there. Yeah, that would be kind of cynical of me to say. But then again, the little kid in me, the child in me that grew up with this stuff, clearly would want this collectible, this toy. And I am leaning on the side of the collector and the hobbyist, because when you see prices like this, $149, $150, one is up for auction for $150. That is absolutely insane, and it's by some prick who doesn't work, welfare recipient, parasite asshole that is not a collector. I am a collector. I'm lucky I have one. And if there is a superior Starscream in this particular class of action figure, if it ever comes out, I'm buying it, and I will sell this one off accordingly. That's my right to do. But for right now, this is the absolute best Starscream we have to date in this particular class. He's absolutely amazing. I don't know what happened. Did they underproduce them? Did the bots buy up all the supply all at once? I know that some people out there will collect multiples of these, one to put up on their shelf and one to put away for the future if they ever decide to open it. And if they wanted to, and they have the right to do it, they can sell it if they want to. Who knows? Maybe he'll turn yellow over time, like most of the Transformers have, like Cyclonus has. Who knows? People collect for all sorts of reasons. But the true collector in this case is up against the wall. And you shouldn't have to be paying those kind of prices. I wouldn't. Like I said, I'm lucky. I got mine on Hasbro Pulse. Now, of course, within hours, the link was down. It was dead. Sold out. Couldn't get it no more. But to make a mainline figure, one of the most popular and sought-after characters in the franchise, to make that into an exclusive figure, Hasbro, what is wrong with you? Do you not listen to your fan base? Remember, you need our money. We don't need these things. They are toys. I'm a 50-year-old man. I can think of 100 different things I could have bought with the money that I spent on this. You need our money. You're a business. I'm an LLC. I know what it is to want to make money. You want people's money, and you have to produce product. But sometimes you have to listen to the fucking fans. Listen to the fans. Listen to the collectors. They're trying to tell you something. You cannot make mainline figures like this exclusives. Yeah, you want to do some crazy thing like Gajin Rai or whatever it is, do Hasbro Pulse, fine. But not a mainline common figure like Starscream. Imagine if they did that to Shockwave, or Soundwave, or Megatron. The fan base collectively would lose their shit, and I would get right on the scrimmage line, get on the battlefield with my fellow collectors, and of course, come out here on YouTube and talk about this sort of thing. This is absolutely absurd and ridiculous. $150 for a figure that's what, 20, 30 bucks, however much he cost? That's ridiculous. It's insane. And you all have a right to be pissed. I really hope my fellow collectors, Transformers fans who really want this figure are able to get one. But do not pay these prices. This is absolutely absurd. And you know Hasbro will eventually reissue these. They reissue figures all the time. They'll make little changes. Cyclonus is the best example. We're getting a far superior Cyclonus versus what came out during War for Cybertron. Or at least the War for Cybertron release. Just gotta wait a while. Do you really absolutely must have this figure? To pay $150 for this, I think you're in the wrong, man. Whoever's placing bids on this kind of shit, you are actually contributing to the problem. And as somebody that collects Michael Air Jordan sneakers, this is why sneakerheads are suffering. Because nobody's going to pay $700 to $800 for a brand new pair of shoes that was plucked off a shelf and immediately put on the internet to be sold and flipped for 2 or 3 times more than what it is. Don't fall for it, folks. And there are knockoffs of this guy coming out. Apparently from some of the upgrades and fixes that I've seen in some videos here on YouTube, it looks like the knockoffs are going to be much better than the mainline figures, with a lot of cool improvements. In a way, I should have waited for the KOs to come out from what I've seen so far. There's a big gap filler when you turn them into the jet. There's a gap filler here. Apparently the null rays on them flip around to look like the OG missiles from the G1 figures that we had when I was a kid. There's landing gear and the feet that flip out. There's all sorts of cool little upgrades. Gap fillers for the sides of the figure. I'm sure they are. If they don't have upgrade kits for Starscream and the rest of the Seekers by now, I'm sure somebody will come up with them. Wait a while. Don't spend your hard-earned money on this shit. Let them choke. Like what happened with Cool Kicks, for example, and all these other sneaker resellers. You should not be subjected to this. Yeah, I'm like you. There are things that I want in life that unfortunately I cannot have. And I wish I had. And I've had to make do with what I've got. Toys are not important to me. I buy these for escapism. I do it because I'm a YouTube content creator and I love this stuff. I grew up with this stuff as a kid. But at the end of the day, I have something called priorities. I'm not trying to bash my fellow collectors, but at the end of the day, you have to be pragmatic and realistic with this sort of thing. Wait a while. I know it sucks that you can't get your hands on one of these, and I'm not trying to rub this in anybody's face and rub this in the faces of my fellow collectors, but they will eventually reissue this thing somewhere down the line. But to pay $150, $120, $90, $80, no. Who's to blame for this? Is it Hasbro? Is it the distributor that works under Hasbro? Is it Target? I have no answers for you. I don't know why this happened. All I know is that low-life parasite scumbag flippers and eBay sellers and true scalpers, and I am no scalper because obviously I have one in my hand that is mine until a vastly superior version of this comes out someday, then I'll sell it and that's my prerogative. If I choose to do so. Fuck you, fat boy. You know who I'm talking to. $150 for a closed Starscream, a sealed Starscream. And it's got 26 bids, at least at the time of this video, or at least at the time I printed this out. This thing could potentially sell for $200 bucks. Why? It's a toy. Why? It just came out. And collectors are being denied this because of a simple word. You all should know what it is. Greed. Greed. People that want to make an easy buck. Yeah, I know the whole capitalist argument. I went into a 2.5-hour tirade attacking somebody who was attacking me first about what capitalism means and what it stands for. I get what capitalism is. You have a right to make money. But we're talking about a company that after all of these decades should realize how much this franchise means to the fan base. And they should be doing better. And yes, there is a revolution going on. People are fucking tired of this. People got tired of this in the baseball card hobby. They got tired of this in the sneakerhead community. And now in the toy collecting community, and I hate using the C word because community implies communism. People are fed up with this. Collectors are fed up with it. This is clearly a figure that will not end up in Ollie's, for sure. This is a mainline figure. One of the characters that are must-haves for your collections. And Hasbro fell flat on its ass. And by extension, Target, and canceling everybody's orders left and right. But do not pay. Don't pay these prices, folks. Do better than that. And if you are able to get one of these, like if I went out and I was able to buy 2 or 3 of these myself, sealed in box, I would probably sell it for what it's worth. Just so that my fellow collectors can get their hands on them. Because that would be the right thing to do. Help your fellow collector acquire one of these and help them add it to their collections. There's no reason for this shit. I understand the economy's fucked up. I am an eBay seller. My eBay sales are not doing so great these days, but I'm not going to go out there and literally pull people's teeth out of their mouth. Just to flip a thing that's brand new in box that was just pulled off a shelf and immediately listed on eBay. It's bullshit. You shouldn't have to. There's no reason for it. Hasbro, listen to the fans. Don't fuck with the fans. Fans and collectors know better. Especially if you're multi-generational like myself, who started off with G1 as a kid. Now I'm an adult. And look how far we've come with the engineering with these figures. Look at how amazing and cartoon accurate this guy looks. I wish I had something like this as a kid. And I want to see this get in the hands of my fellow collectors. I'm on board with each and every single content creator right now that's lashing out at Hasbro and Target. Fuck you, Hasbro, and fuck you, Target. We are the ones holding the money in our hands. It's time to rattle our sabers and go to war. And I said this before, and I was chastised about it by a fat, balding, middle-aged man-child here on YouTube. And yet I was right, and content creators are now lashing out and beating their war drums. They're blowing the clarion horn, calling this shit out like I'm calling it out. It's not fair. This is not fair. Real scalpers are the problem. Do better, Hasbro. Do better, Takara, and do better, Target. Good luck to my fellow Transformers collectors out there. Hopefully you're able to get one of these without having to pay these draconian prices for it. I'm your host, the Carolina Collector. Take care, everybody.